does crew mean? CRU.
Crew is a ministry on campus.
Is it what?
A Christian ministry on campus.
I said mystery.
Yeah, no, not mystery. Sure hope I know what we are. But yeah, we're...
Oh, I see you added an I don't know. That's good. I bet you it started off yes and no, didn't it?
No, we had I don't know.
Yeah.
You a big
Well-
fan of Man of Steel?
What's that?
Big fan of like the movie Man of Steel or just Superman in general?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because your shirt.
I know. I'm just
Oh.
How have you been, man? We talked like a while ago.
kidding. Yeah?
Last night.
Did you learn anything?
Why not?
I have no idea.
You don't know if you learned anything?
I don't know what we talked about. It's been a long time. But
Oh,
yeah. You been well?
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
You're supposed to learn something from our discussion.
I didn't take notes. I totally forgot to figure out what it was that we were talking about. But yeah.
So you didn't pay attention. Why is that?
I think I attempted to, but
But what happened?
that was your attention.
I see.
Good. How are you guys?
What you like
Back out here.
Yeah.
Supporting your church again.
bar now.
Indeed.
Oh, well, do I get like triple if I go off?
Vertically, but like you get to do it.
Oh, I can't just reach
Don't use the
Oh,
claw.
then I'll keep going.
So where's it that you work again?
That's super cool.
I never said
All
where I
right.
worked.
What are you up
You
to?
just said you were engineering of sorts.
Okay.
Oh, I work IT, yeah.
Fun.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Got you.
I never said where.
Okay.
What class?
I'm not trying to stalk you. I'm not.
Don't want to get canceled.
Oh my gosh. I would never.
Yeah.
And I can tell. I
Nice.
see why. I see why.
Yeah,
How long have you
my
been in
my
Gainesville?
capstone class was kind of like.
On and off since the early 90s.
Okay.
Well, I forget the name actually.
Did you come here for
Would you
school?
like to make a mark?
In the early 90s I did, yeah.
Okay.
Colorful chalk? No, okay.
You want to make a mark?
But yeah, so
With chalk?
it was. We had to run a whole company from scratch.
Yes, go for it.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Hey, pop off.
So yeah, so I get it.
It's my major.
Isn't it kind of strange that you have to ask people the question?
But yeah.
Like, is there a creator?
That sounds
Yeah, isn't it kind of weird to do that?
To ask someone a question, or
I mean, to ask that question. Because it's like,
people
you know, you don't see people going around saying, is there a natural satellite around this planet? Right? You'll never see that as a question. Right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because we know there is. We have evidence of one, right?
Yeah.
But we have to ask this because
That does sound horrible.
we have no idea, which is why we ask people. No one knows, right? And isn't that kind of fishy?
I mean, not necessarily.
Should we really believe in things that we have to ask this question? Is it proper to believe in something where this question is asked?
Doing really well.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not well.
You're asking if is it okay to believe in something that you don't
Which I guess
have,
happens in the real world.
Yeah.
like concrete, solid
Right.
evidence.
I mean, what if I believed in Tinkerbell? Would that be just as valid?
I mean, it would be your
Yeah.
belief system. Yeah, I mean, it would be
Well,
valid.
it would be something I believed in. It wouldn't be a
Yeah.
belief system. It would be just something I believed
It
in.
would be something.
Is there something? Is it rational? Would it be rational for me to believe in Tinkerbell?
But then I
I
saw
don't know.
You don't know?
I would say if you're claiming to have
found him.
evidence of
No one. Well, I mean, my evidence could be just as flimsy as anyone has for any god,
that's true.
right? So, therefore, my question still stands. Would it be reasonable to believe in
Can I answer the
Tinkerbell?
question?
I mean, I would say that if you are convinced of that, then for you it might be irrational, obviously. It's kinda
Right, no,
like-
no, but the truth is independent on each person, right?
No, that's
Something's
true.
either true
So
or
there
it's
is an
not.
objective.
Right. So would it be evidence
Don't wanna
enough to
answer today's
be
question? I'm good.
considered
Oh, yeah.
truth or not?
From afar, it's like I'll
I
do
mean,
it
we
like
can.
somewhere.
In some ways, we would. There
I
could
don't
be
know.
18, but we don't have.
Right, but if we
we
don't
don't have
know
evidence that there
exactly,
is. We don't have evidence that there is.
so would my belief therefore be irrational?
Why'd you put that?
Not necessarily.
Why not? If we have no evidence,
You don't have evidence for or against
I
it.
agree with you.
right? But if I have no evidence for it, no scientific evidence,
Yeah, but we don't have science. You could put going back to your question, does it make sense to put this up here? You could put a question science related about this. It's like, is there, I don't know, something cosmological?
Is the moon real?
Not necessarily that, but I mean, you
Okay.
could do that. But I'm
Right.
saying in terms of things that are like scientifically unknown, because you can't deny the existence
that's okay.
of the. I mean, people will deny the existence of the moon. We have flat Earth believers, or flat Earth, believers.
Right, well,
But so like, yes, I think that's irrational to be a flat earther because there's
so
scientific
so
evidence
basically,
for that.
anything you believe in without evidence is not necessarily irrational in your viewpoint. Anything's okay.
I mean, in terms of what my personal opinion about their belief system or their belief, not their belief system, I could think it's irrational. But
Well, based on logic, you can say that, right?
based on my belief, I could think this.
Well, isn't it based on logic and reason as well? Because there's no
That
scientific
plays
evidence.
into it, of course.
Right.
I don't have scientific evidence of Tinkerbell.
Right,
Yes, like
right.
you're
So
saying.
therefore,
you're trying to equate
it would be
Tinkerbell
reasonable.
to God. Yes.
So therefore, it'd be reasonable to assert that Tinkerbell is an irrational
wanna
belief
write?
to believe in one.
Yeah.
To actually think one's real.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, again, like I said, I know what you're trying to do in terms of that aspect of it. So I personally don't. It doesn't matter to me because
You want to answer?
So you don't care about the truth?
I do care.
Do you know how to obtain the truth?
How do I obtain it?
Right? Do you know what truth is?
Would you like to answer our question today?
Do you know what the word truth means?
Cool chalk.
Truth is the degree to which a statement
Sunrise
corresponds
search
with
out,
reality,
J-Bill.
right? Do you agree on that?
Yeah, they are.
So if someone
Answer
says
our
something
question
is true, like a real, like a Tinkerbell,
today? I'm a big fan of Sunrise.
how true that statement is depends on, how well we can show that statement corresponds with reality by using scientific evidence, stuff someone can objectively look at and weigh and find out for themselves.
Yeah.
But if all we have for evidence of Tinkerbell is in our brain just because we want to, doesn't that mean that therefore the belief is not reasonable to have?
I see.
Would you like to answer our question today?
I mean,
Have a good day.
in some ways, like you said, if we're basing truth on the observability and the ability to determine
Would you like to answer our question
how it
today?
corresponds to reality,
Right.
That's all right.
then
Have a good
we
one.
can't determine that. Have physical evidence of Tinkerbell's existence.
And shouldn't the reasonableness of a belief be based on that, though?
I mean, let me ask you, do you think every belief that you have is that based solely on, do you believe anything that you can't, physically prove? Or is everything that you believe solely based on, I've observed this? Do you believe
If I have a belief that's unverified and
Yes.
someone can show it,
I don't know.
I'll stop believing in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If something is untrue that I believe, I'm sure a lot of people have things that they believe in which are untrue. I've
Yeah.
worked very hard to purge such beliefs from my brain. Our beliefs are based on what our subconscious part of our brain goes with. So the more we educate ourselves, the less likely we're going to have for bad beliefs. So I try to purge that from me. Whether I'm now free from all irrational beliefs, I can't say for sure. But as things progress,
You want to write on our board?
I will find out if I have them, and I'll weigh them, and I'll see. But this is like a blatant one, like a god or a Tinkerbell. It's like these are things that are outlandish
That's hilarious.
that we
Have
should
a great one.
be able to look at pretty easily without having to think too hard, right? No,
Maybe.
maybe.
That's
Everything's
your
a maybe.
That's
Everything's a
that's
maybe,
your
huh?
opinion.
An opinion, or is it logic?
It's your opinion that it is logical.
Oh, okay. So it's my opinion is logic.
I would say so.
Okay. Interesting. So,
You guys?
are there any
would you like to
beliefs
write on
that
the
you
board?
think that someone can have which you can say is irrational?
You want to write on the board?
I just want to know where the goalposts are,
Yeah.
because evidently I couldn't reach it as easily as I thought I could.
I mean, in some ways, I would say, going back to Tinkerbell.
Go back to what?
Going back to Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. Okay.
Yeah, so of course, I would say to some degree it is irrational.
Oh, you would?
To some degree.
Oh, you would too.
To some degree it would be.
It would be
I would
rational.
have, it would not be.
Okay.
rational.
Okay.
I would have to like. It's very dependent on the person I'm talking to and their like.
Why would it be dependent on the person? Wouldn't it be dependent on the evidence that they can produce and the definition of what it is they believe in?
But we're talking about for them if that's rational.
No, remember, because truth is independent of what someone feels
It's
is rational.
rationality based.
Reason and logic
Yeah.
can be used and objectively to weigh the validity of someone's belief.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
So
is
why
there-
would it matter depending on the person you're talking to instead of just applying logic and reason to their assertions and
Well,
how well it's reflected in reality?
Because so let's apply it to something more philosophical. Like if you're looking at societal problems, within that there are things that there is of course there is an objective truth in like people's experiences. So let's say like someone, if you look at like race relations in the U.S., right? There is an objective reality to some degree of like if someone was like mistreated because of their race or not. And it's like someone could say no, they weren't. That didn't impact anything for them. There was no problems there. They are just experiencing this and they're looking at this irrational. But for them and their experiences, it is rational for them to believe in that particular thing.
Yeah, well, personal experiences can skew someone's idea of how widespread something is. So
That's true.
if you know, but then again, when you can talk about statistics, then even though someone went through that, typically people don't go through that. So it's not as widespread as perhaps that person would think. So there would be a difference. So the truth is that it's not as common as this person thinks. Just because they had an experience of it doesn't mean it's as common.
But for them, they still, and you would say for them to believe that that's their experience that they're experiencing, racial discrimination or whatever. That for them that's irrational.
Right.
To believe that.
But we know but the analogy I don't think is that great because we know
Well, that's true.
we know racism can exist. I mean, I think race relations in America is a lot better
but we're
than most countries.
If you're viewing it from the perspective of rationality.
Right. But we should be doing that, shouldn't we? Because we're talking about what's true, like what's real. I mean, there is either a God or there isn't, right? It's either yes or no. So we have to use logic and reason. We have to have scientific evidence. And if we don't have that, if we just leave it up to the person, then we're not really answering the question.
Yeah.
Is that so? That's not reasonable.
I suppose so. Yeah.
So you're an atheist now.
There we go. Problem solved.
Success.
You want to answer our question? Ready for some talk?
Nothing is exempt from applying logic and reason to. Nothing.
Yes. I
Not
agree.
God, not nothing. Nothing. Just because someone says that, it's mysterious and who knows, blah, blah, doesn't mean we shouldn't be applying logic and reason to it.
I agree.
Then why are you believing one?
I don't think that you can equate like the level of belief it requires to believe in two hero versus a deity.
Why not? They're both without evidence, scientific evidence, right? They're both things that we made up,
You guys
right?
want to mark on the board?
I mean, if you don't want to think that we made up a God, well then you have to have something to point at the fact that we didn't make it up.
Sorry, that last little bit I didn't get it.
If you want to say that God is not something we made up, then there would have to be something that we can point at and see that shows that we didn't make it up. Right? But it's such an old thing that was made up so long ago and chopped in pieces and molded into different religions and all that stuff. I mean, for all we know, people created it to begin with because they didn't know anything, and they wanted an explanation for things, so they said, "Oh, God did it. God did it. God did it." And as you got more educated, less things was God did it, and then you push it back more and more.
Yeah. I got nothing for it. I mean, I'm honest. I've not gone to that degree of looking at things and
You guys want to make a mark on the
analyzing
board?
philosophy or.
Is that really philosophy? I don't think that's
Well,
philosophy.
but I'm saying I haven't looked at like as an example philosophy or
Right.
like argue it to some degree that it's a degree of like there is a degree of philosophy in the regard of like arguing for or against that through like the physical world. So obviously it's more for you it's scientific evidence of that, right? But I haven't gone through that process as much as I would like
So
to.
you don't see the need to use scientific evidence to verify your beliefs on what you think is true or not in the world, in the universe.
No, I think it is important.
You think it's important,
Yes.
but you don't use it for a guide.
No, I'm saying I'm a finite being who has not gone through that level of scrutiny at this point.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because I haven't had the time to.
You got plenty of time. You're sitting out here.
I'm currently working, is what I'm
They
doing.
pay you for this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do you get paid to go scoot around all day?
No, I have an online business for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you work a lot. You just don't have the time to hit the books,
that'd be awesome.
basically.
To the degree that I would like to, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of
Yeah.
things of importance to read.
Okay.
Rachel.
Interesting. All right, buddy.
Do it. Dude, you're cool. Yes.
I will leave you be.
Thank
Good
you.
conversation.
I appreciate you stopping by as always.
See you,
Stay
buddy.
safe.
There's nothing there today, guys. Those guys knew me. I talked to them before. So I see that one guy. I guess I had another video with him in it, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I thought I'd try to pick his brain a little bit there and try to pick at his logic. And basically it got to the fact that, I haven't really thought about that because I'm too busy working, I get paid for this. So ultimately that was his response. I don't know. Update on me for anyone who cares. I'm currently working on an online business. I'm trying to get that going. Once I get that going, I think I'm going to leave Gainesville here and move to Sarasota. Buy a house down there. I got some more material down there and stuff like that. Plus I'll be able to travel more and make some more videos for different areas. So that's my plan. Cool. Maybe find me a foreign wife or something.
Yeah.
Go to Africa or India or Philippines or Thailand. You know, one of those things where you might be a good woman somewhere. You know? So that's it. I'm getting my shake here, and I'll go ahead and post this when I get back. Peace. I was on campus. I wanted you guys' opinion. I was on campus, and there was a guy who was always out there with a little amplified speaker, and he just preaches all day out there. No one pays attention to him. So I talked to one of the university cops. I'm like, "Is that legal?" They go, "Yeah, as long as it's within a certain loudness range. Is not interrupting classes or anything like that." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm thinking. He goes, "You can do that as long you don't need a permit." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm thinking about doing this topic. He goes, "Oh, I think I'm going to create some people for that." My topic is going to be. I'm thinking about doing like men's rights and something like that, and doing a little discussion about that, and see who comes up to me and who doesn't, because someone out there preaching about God crap, nobody gives a crap about. But when they start having to hear stuff about men's rights and all, and how men are oppressed and all the crap we have to go through, I bet you it's going to cause some stirs. So I'm thinking about doing a video on that on campus, and I got to get some hardware. I don't know if you guys have suggestions for hardware to use. I need a small amplified speaker that does the job, and of course a microphone to go with it. So if you guys have any advice on what I should get on Amazon for that, that'd be great. And then to record it, I'm not really sure I'm going to use this device that I'm currently using because the battery life is only so long in each battery. I may need to get something that's going to be longer battery life. So suggestions on that would be great. Okay, thanks guys. Peace.